It's a tricky line to tread for us, isn't it? We want to wear what we want, but we don't want to get it really, really wrong, do we? And really, is age just a number, or does it mean that we've got to dress differently? Hello, I'm your friend Deirdre, and a big welcome back to my channel, the channel for ladies over 50. And I hope you're all doing really, really well. You know, sometimes we can think back to our golden days of our youth. Well, they seem like it, don't they? When we could basically wear anything and look good. Well, that's not strictly true. A bad piece of clothing is a bad piece of clothing at any age. And I've got a really funny one to show you at the end of the video as well. But now, can we still But now, at our age, can we still wear what we want? Is there such a thing as age appropriate? And should we really care? Does it really matter if our bottoms don't set off those jeans totally perfectly if we love them anyway? So whether you like to look a little bit younger or more modern and contemporary, but you don't want to look like you're trying too hard, or if you prioritize comfort, but you still want to look stylish, or even if you're just a little bit curious about what I'm going to suggest, after all, we know that clothes have to feel good as well as look good, I've got lots of style tips to share with you in this video and alternatives to some of the things that we might be a little bit too old for. So let's dive straight in and get all those elephants right here in the room. So my first type of clothing that you may be thinking, am I too old to wear this, are shorts. So should we really worry about wearing shorts? Does it matter if our knees aren't quite what they used to be? I think it really depends on how you approach the way that you look and how much body confidence we have. Personally, although I think that it's probably often more sophisticated and probably more flattering to wear something that covers the knees, especially if they've seen better days. But hey, if you bear them, the world doesn't come to an end, does it? So if you love the coolness and practicality of shorts, go for them. But what I would say is that slightly longer length shorts can be a really great option because, not sure if this is just me, but it's not just the knees, is it? For me, revealing the skin on the back of my leg, above the knee, you know, that kind of area, can be a little bit dodgy, especially from behind. So if you have these concerns, maybe consider wearing Bermuda shorts. Bermuda shorts like these can be a great option for more mature figures. Now, as you can see, these are fairly roomy. They're absolutely beautiful, actually. And this is a great tip, having it more roomy to feel more comfortable in shorts, and go up a size or select a style that's got space between you and it, especially around the legs themselves too. So this gets away from that kind of fitted, tight look of shorts, which is not really such a great way of wearing them, especially at our age. Now, I've teamed them here with one of my favorite shirts. You know I love a stripe, but this stripe green one, which is also great for covering up the body a little bit more on the top, which helps to balance out the legs if you're exposing more leg. So are we too old to wear shorts? No, not at all, if you get the right style. Okay, on to my second type of clothing that you might think, am I too old to wear that? And that is distressed or ripped jeans. Now, heavily distressed denim can be a bit sloppy, and it really doesn't add to a stylish look, in my opinion. Now, I don't want to feel that I've been cheated out of a whole garment. You know, you're buying a pair of jeans, not half a pair of jeans. And as my grandmother used to say, because she had a lot to say about a lot of things, couldn't you afford a whole pair of jeans? And that was when I was young, of course, but it just looks messy to wear really distressed or ripped jeans, I think. And of course, they tend to rip even further after they've been washed a few times too, so they can get really bad. So what to wear instead? Well, I always suggest darker wash jeans with no embellishments, as they do look a lot more put together. And also in terms of shape, a boot cut or a straight leg shape looks more modern and a lot more with it. So, are we too old to wear distressed jeans? Yes, but they don't look good at any age. Okay, on to my next item, high heels. Now, this is a really contentious one, I think. You know, at our age, some of us start to worry about safety. That's me, definitely, because I might fall off the heels, and certainly comfort and foot health. But the thing is, I think we still want to have gorgeous shoes, pretty shoes that we love, but with more support. Now, I'd love to hear what you think about this too, ladies. So for me, high heels are definitely a problem to wear for practical reasons. And some types are worse than others, I think. Stilettos, for example, are sadly out for me these days. But a more stable shape of heel, like perhaps a block heel, as long as it's not too high high can work. So something like these are low block heel sandals. They give a bit of a lift and they look stylish, but they're really comfy. Or these ones, these are from Nordstrom. Now, of course, if you're one of my friends in the US, don't forget about the Nordstrom anniversary sale. It's now on, and you can find some gorgeous little ones there at knockdown prices. And I will link a few of my favorites that I've been browsing underneath this video for you. Also, kitten heels are very cute and can work, but you know, it depends on what kind of surfaces you're walking on. Otherwise, they can just sort of go down those little crevices and get stuck. Or is that just me? So are we too old to wear high heels? Yes, for stilettos, but go ahead if you can still rock them in comfort. By the way, if you like these tips, please hit that subscribe button. It's totally free as well. Now, before I go on to my next point, and before you start to think that I'm a real killjoy, say, don't wear this, don't wear that, of course it's up to you. But I just want to tell you about a friend of mine. Let's call her Jo, because actually that's her name. She's in her late 50s, she just lives down the road, and she's got fabulous style, and she doesn't bother about all that age-appropriate stuff. You know, she's got tons of bright scarves that she wears, funky hats, statement jewelry, and she really rocks that kind of thing. And sometimes people say to her, look, aren't you too old to wear that? But she just laughs and says, I'm not too old for anything, I'm just getting started. I love her spirit, and I think she's a really uplifting example of how age shouldn't dictate our fashion choices. After all, ladies, what's the worst thing that can happen? We might find a new style that makes us feel like $1 million, and look it too. Having said that, my next elephant in the room is short skirts or dresses. Now, this is a big one, isn't it? So for many of us, it can be the same sort of concerns that we have with shorts, can't it? Things like showing knees or thighs, and what kind of things a shorter hemline are going to reveal. But you know, once we've worried about the, wrinkly knees, the cellulite, the varicose veins, the spider veins, we won't have anything left to wear. I really think it depends on what you feel comfortable in. So here I'm wearing a truly lovely dress, but it's a bit short for me. I felt it was anyway. It's okay when I was standing up, but try sitting down. It's another story. Do you find that? Now, I ended up sending it back, not just for the hemline, but also for lots of other reasons too. And you can watch all the reasons that I talked about in a recent short, which I will link below, and I tell you all about it. Now, I think that we should do what I call clever dressing, enhancing your best bits and covering up your not so great bits and the bits that you're not so comfortable with. So no rules, just what works for you personally. And this applies very much to how much you want to reveal as well, your legs, your bust, and so on. So are we too old to wear short skirts? Maybe. It depends. Next up, sleeveless tops or dresses. Now, I know that arms can be a big concern for lots of reasons, but there are so many ways to disguise the upper arm without having to wear long sleeves all the time, because, especially in the summer, long sleeves can feel a bit hot, bit restricting. So at this time of the year, when the arm thing can become an issue, I love wearing a lightweight shawl or a scarf on my shoulders, which covers my upper arms as well. It's such an elegant look too, and it's perfect for an evening out. When it gets a little bit chillier, when perhaps you've worn a dress or a top for the evening and then it just gets a bit chillier, you pop that on. And I always take a scarf like this with me when I go on holiday, every holiday actually. Now, another little trick is to wear a top or a dress with little cap sleeves too, which slightly covers the top of the arms and distracts the eye away from that area, as you can see in this look 3. So in this look, we have this really pretty little green top here, which I'm wearing with a white cotton maxi skirt. It's beautiful, really fresh, summery kind of combination, but actually quite covered up. But because of the colours and the styles, it doesn't look like it. So, are we too old to wear sleeveless items? No, because there are ways around it. On to a biggie now, low-cut tops and sexy clothes. Now, I think it's all about choosing what you want to have on display, how much you want to have on display, and what you feel comfortable about sharing. with the whole world, let's face it. Now, if you like this vibe, maybe choose whether you want to focus on your chest area or your legs, for example, and your back. You know, that's an often overlooked area that can be very alluring, even just the top of it, little V in the top of the back. But don't do it all at the same time, of course, because maybe that'll be too much of an eyeful. I really think it's up to each of us how we want to present ourselves. Now, I'd love your views on this, ladies. Do you favour a more modest, elegant, slightly more covered up look, or are you happy to kind of chuck it all out there? Answers in the comments, please. So, are we too old to wear sexy things? Probably, but it's entirely up to you. My last type of clothing to share with you is too many trendy items. Now, when we wear too many trendy items all at once, this can look a little bit over the top. So why is there the temptation to wear lots of trendy things as we get older? Well, for some of us, you know, I think it's a fear that looking outdated, looking aged, so we might kind of overcompensate by wearing all modern gear. I really think that we should wear our own authentic styles, the styles that suit us, our figures, our personalities, and maybe a few trends, if you love them, just kind of sprinkled in, but try not to chase too many trends all in the same outfit. So, are we too old to wear lots of trendy items? Yes, but one or two is great to show personality. Now, if you're still with me, well done. And I hope I haven't offended you. This is all just my opinion, of course, and everyone has different opinions, which is great. But now for that funny thing that I promised you at the beginning of the video. I'm sorry, but is this seriously for sale? It actually is. And who buys it? I'd love to know. What do you think? I really think it's nothing really wrong with it, but those two roses stuck right here. Sorry, I just had to share that with you, ladies. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, ladies. I'd love to hear from you, always love to hear from you. What styles do you love at any age? Do you think there's a limit to fashion at a certain age? Let us all know in the comments below. And if you're interested in more fashion and style tips, be sure to subscribe if you haven't and check out my other videos. So I will see you in a few days for more videos and lots of love. Have a really lovely time. Lots of love. Bye-bye.